really. Let me see my phone too. If you are there, stand by. We're working on it right now. Operators are standing by. I got a notification. And tonight we're going to talk about it. Have you heard of this? You guys have never heard about this before. Never heard this before, because no one's going to tell you this truth that we're going to share with you guys tonight. No one. And this is 100% guaranteed to be part of your dis-ease. Okay? I'm telling you, you guys are not going to believe it. But we're going to do it. We're going to talk about it. We're getting into it. Let me just get a few more things ready to go here.
Oh, hello, everyone. It's so good to see and hear everyone.
Oh, man.
We need all your little pictures up there so we can see you.
And we're going to give you guys solutions.
Yeah, well,
solutions to the problems. That's what's one problem that people have, is they never get the solutions. So we're going to share solutions with you. We are in the RV today.
We are.
We are in Kentucky. And we're going to do a video about some Amish people. And you've never seen these kind of Amish people before in your life. And it's going to be a very interesting video. So that'll be coming up shortly, and it is pretty good. We're going to be doing it all day tomorrow. We found it's just very interesting. You know, if you guys are new around here, my wife and I, we basically live like the Amish. You know, we're doing a little bit of social media here, and we have an RV, but we do this RV thing. We got this so we can come and see you guys and go to these conferences and stuff, you know. But we do live at home on 11 acres in a log cabin, just like the Amish. No electricity, no public utilities. We heat with wood. We heat our water with wood to make hot water. We have, composting toilet that we use. It's a bucket and, that whole system there. And we grow our own food, 90% of it. And we share our story here on social media. If you want to see all those videos, we have over 1,000 of those videos. And all you have to do is go back to our channel. Just click the picture of us over on the page here, and you can go there and you can start watching oldest to newest. You can watch some of the first videos we put up, and you can see the progression that we made as we came out of the city life. Okay? We were living in the city just like y'all, and we dumped it, and we came up here to live the agrarian lifestyle. And a lot of the stuff we had no idea what we were going to be doing, but we did it. And we shared the whole thing with you guys, how to put systems in place, how to grow the stuff, how to harvest the stuff, everything. So there's so much wealth of information for free for you guys here on YouTube that you can glean from. Okay?
And then Elizabeth made it. So welcome, Elizabeth, to our I was going to welcome to class. But
it looks
here.
like she made it.
And then Joe, you're going to heal fast. Okay, Joe? We're going to get you home.
Those are facts. And I got to get my blue light glasses.
Oh, yeah.
Stacy said, oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah. She just turned all the lights on just for you guys.
All right. We're going to get into
this.
Yes,
Sharky, babe. It is hot out there.
Sorry, we were a little bit late.
You're supposed to get mine right there, too.
Where?
On the big drawer right there. Right?
I don't know where
no,
you keep
that one. Thank you.
Okay. If you guys don't know about these, they're flooding your eyeballs with the blue light, throws off your circadian rhythm, and it contributes to you being sick. Nobody's going to tell you that either, but we will. All right, let me try to zoom this in a little better. Hold on a second here. Let's see if that works. We don't have a phone stand.
So you're rigged up on some empty bottles.
All right, here we go. Let me get a little closer.
Oh, 50-acre home tread just came in from the garden.
I bet it was hot out there.
It is so weedy. Lots of weeds, lots of rain.
All right, I know I'm going back and forth here a little bit. Just bear with me, and we'll get her done. All right.
Oh, James watched the video on the Japanese beetles. I'm going to try the milky spores. Yes, they're very good, James. They do work. Man. Just remember, try to do it right before you know it's going to rain, because it needs water to let it penetrate to go into the ground. So wait for a storm. Don't do it when you're not going to get rain for a long time. Or you're going to have to water that whole huge area, and that's not fun to do with your hose. So wait for rain, and that's the best.
Oh my gosh, we're too zoomed in.
Can you see up your nose?
No, I can see the shade on the window, though. Let's try that one.
Oh, yeah, that looks terrible.
Hold on, we're getting a little better.
We were showing the watermelon.
Okay, we're going to get a little better than that. Please bear with me, y'all. This is the studio. We do not have a team.
I'm Rebecca from New Zealand.
We do not have people doing our stuff for us. Doug does it all, and we're operating off of a cell phone. Let me turn it like that so you can see Stacy more.
So Brenda wants to know, can she use her leftover brine again from her pickles? So Brenda, you can do a couple things. You could put like a tablespoon in the next one that you're going to make, and it will jumpstart it, and it will be done a little quicker. However, pickle juice is incredible. You could do like pickle juice shots. So you already use your pickles. So in the time that you're going to be making another batch, you could be using that's your ferment, and you can do that, and it's so good for you. And just do little shots, and then that way you'll get probiotic benefits from that also. Or you could, just use part of it. You're only going to need a tablespoon or two, depending how big you're going to make it. And then you can do that to jumpstart it. But
no, I don't think a USDA loan would be good to start a homestead. No government contracts, y'all. And that's just my opinion. You got to do what you got to do. But you know what I mean? Then they got the right to come and look at your stuff, tell you that you can't be doing this and that, wagging their finger at you. So that's just one man's opinion.
Oh, Teresa got rid of the garter snakes by putting red pepper flakes around.
Make sure you guys hit that thumbs up. It really helps out, especially for people that aren't here because we're a little bit late. It'll help them get a notification just because you hit the free thumbs up. It's right there. I'm going to hit mine. Boom.
Oh, Alex just got his cups.
Did you hit yours?
Yes, I think I did. Got copper mugs and chocolate tea.
You think you did?
Have to check.
All right. What's going on here? All right, let's see here. Yes, I hit my thumbs up.
No, I didn't.
Yeah, see, she did it.
Bad me.
Which means
Shame
you
on
probably
me.
didn't either. So go ahead and hit that thumbs up. It really helps out. I'm going to eat some of this watermelon. Stacy is a beautiful hippie.
Don't eat them all. I need some of them.
You said late. I thought we were early. No, we start at 7 p.m. Central Standard Time every Monday night. Except last Monday. We do miss one here and there. Oh my gosh, say it. Don't spray it.
Yeah, that stuff's sticky. We don't want ants in here.
No. Lost all my peaches. Oh my gosh.
You know what?
7.5 inches in June.
Of rain?
Yeah. A lot of rain, a lot of hot humidity, a lot of scorching temperatures.
Yeah, we got
y'all.
5 inches of rain in 2 days.
Yes.
It's just rain and hot.
Let me explain something to you guys about this stuff, right? When they give you a lot, I say give you a lot of rain because we're talking about chemtrails and controlling the weather, so to speak. They don't really 100% control the weather, but we're living in gain of function land right now because ever since COVID, everything's been gain of function, which means that they're throwing stuff at us so hard and they're just seeing how it reacts with us and how it reacts with the atmosphere and all the spraying of the skies going on. It went from conspiracy theory to states outlawing it in a hot flash, okay? Probably within a year. Think about that. It went from conspiracy theory, okay? Oh, no, you don't see that. That ain't what to states actually outlawing it. Let that sink in for a second. Did you guys see that windmill? The accident on the highway with the windmill blade?
Was it Maryland?
Yeah, Maryland.
On Highway 70.
The grand
windmill things?
green scam is alive and well, y'all. They leak oil, they catch on fire, they use a lot of oil. And do yourself a favor and go watch a video on YouTube on how they make that thing and look at the concrete and the steel that they have to use in the bottom of that thing. It will blow your mind.
Well, it was going down the highway and it came off. It was like that movie Final Destination. Has anyone seen those movies? So I will never get behind a log truck or anything like that. But the blade went across the other part of the highway.
The whole highway.
It was a huge
It's on the
blade.
whole highway from this side all the way over to that side.
Yeah.
All right. So spraying the skies, back to what I was talking about, creates a lot of rain. They are openly saying they cloud seed. The rain actually takes the nutrients out of the grass. Okay? Literally. So what'll happen is your animals, you'll think they're out there eating spring grass and everything's good. They're actually becoming nutrient deficient, and we're going to talk about that a little bit too because it ties into what Stacy's going to talk about. And it causes them to get sick and stuff, okay? So in the grand scheme of things, if you just think about that for a second, oh my.
That's why, when you guys water your plants, You shouldn't just, it's just like you're in a hurry and you just dump all the water on them all the time and you just soak them. Like if we get a big soaking and the water just rushes through because it's pulling all the nutrients out of the soil because you keep putting so much water. That's why they say when you get a nice soaking, when it just kind of rains nicely, then
Very
it's
gently.
taking time.
Right.
Yeah. And it's not rushing everything out of the plant.
It literally strips your plants of the nutrients.
Right. So, and that's not good either when you get too much. It just like, you know, when it rains and rains and rains and rains and rains and rains, you know, the bees are like, where's the pollen? And that's why you notice a lot of times after rain, the hummingbirds are all over your hummingbird feeders. You're like, oh my gosh, it's because they got to wait for the pollen to start coming back again. So,
and it also messes up the microbiome of the soil, right? So they rain, flood everything. Then they go to this 100 degrees, and I'm not saying they're controlling all the weather like that, but these are things that happen because of it. It dries out so fast, and then with the wind blowing, it just messes up that whole microbiome because we're not really witnessing like, I mean, all of us remember back in the day when we were kids and stuff, but we're not really witnessing normal weather right now, okay? In our state, Missouri, normally we have about 30 tornadoes during tornado season. We already have had over 120 something, 30 something tornadoes in the state of Missouri, documented. And even that weed trimmer guy who traces the tornadoes around, he even constantly is saying, holy cow, this is like the freakish year I've ever seen about tornadoes, right? He's literally on record saying that, okay? The Ryan Hall, y'all, and the other guy are putting up videos about the weather, and they're getting like a bunch of views, million views in 2 days, because every day it's some storm with tornadoes and all this crazy weather, okay? Oh my gosh.
So Paula's making dandelion tincture. How long do you leave it to sit? So when you're making a tincture, people go 4 to 6 weeks. I generally like to do more, 5 weeks, 6 weeks. And then you strain it and put it in your little dropper bottles, and then you're good. If you leave it longer and you forget, nothing's going to happen. You don't have to throw it out. If you left it 2 months and you forgot, it's okay. I've left some of mine 4 months. Then I strained them and put them in there. They're still fine.
All right, so basically we're going to talk to you guys about something because, look, just straight up, like nobody talks about this. Your doctor doesn't talk about this. Dr. Wilner, who injected AIDS into himself, what a video that was, man. These are all truths, right? But none of them are going to talk about this. They're just going to try to put you on pills. A lot of people suffer from chronic dehydration, right? And that's not really not the topic, but I'm just talking about people don't drink water or good water. You can't just drink your tap water. Tap water, y'all, from your sink, if you live in the city or anywhere else, is not fit for human consumption. Please do your best to try to get off the tap water. It doesn't hydrate your body. It actually messes up your body. And, if you have chronic...
there's like, the sick thing is to know, the water that you're getting, they're trying to clean it, they're doing whatever, but you're getting everything.
Pharmaceutical
people who have had their jab, they're getting
everything.
that, and you're getting everyone's medications, you're getting everything. There's like thousands and thousands of chemicals are in the water. That is the first thing, because we are mostly made up of water. So if you need to start changing anything, change the water that you are drinking for your body, which is just will be amazing. So getting some type of filter. A lot of people are like, I'm so confused how to do the water. What do I got to do? What do I got to do? The first thing is if you only have city water, then you're going to have to figure out a way, well, how I need to get it cleaned somehow to get rid of the contaminants, heavy metals and things. And there's some good filters. Now they have the...
there's Absapure.
Well, there's a new one that begins with a Z.
I don't know nothing about it.
Zeolite. It's the new one.
Try to get one that can take fluoride out of the water.
Yeah, zero. Then they have separate filters for that.
Berkey's maybe still.
Bordeaux.
I don't know. We're not into it.
Yeah, Bordeaux. I think those are the ones that took Berkey. So you want to clean it. A lot of our reverse osmosis. At least it'll clean the water. And then from there, see, this is going to be the perfect storm if you can do that. Get your little filter. And you can get little ones that you can set on your counter. They're not expensive. Zero is a good one, and it's kind of inexpensive. Get your water cleaned. Reverse osmosis, however you're going to do it. And then the most opportune thing to do to it is you want to structure it. So basically it's going to simulate a vortex movement, like water going down a stream over the rocks, getting mineralized and all that. And basically when you have structured water, it is It's extra hydrating. They even say it has a different molecular structure.
Yes,
the
distilled water is good.
The body recognizes so that it's able to absorb much better, because a lot of people, or most people, if you're just drinking regular water, it's like a kind of a dead water, because structured water, water has a memory. So when you structure it, then it's going to be more hydrating for your cells.
It doesn't clean it. You got to filter it first, y'all.
So this is the way to do it. You need it filtered.
Yep.
Reverse osmosis. How are you going to do it?
Distilled.
And then structure it.
Yep.
And then you have to remineralize
it,
because you need to put some minerals back in.
We've done videos on this and talked about it in some depth. And Kurt said something about that. Aluminum, right? Because we know they talk about it openly. They're spraying us with aluminum, barium, strontium, all these chemicals. And aluminum is already linked to Alzheimer's, right? I got a CDC story that just broke today, too, that'll blow your mind. I'll probably do that in the next day or two. It'll just really blow your mind. But and so when they're downing us with this aluminum, it's taking our water out of our bodies also, and they also,
there's a lot of desiccates up in the
contribute that to Alzheimer's and all this stuff, y'all. So tonight, Stacy's going to talk about how you can reverse some of this stuff and get yourself hydrated in a nice, easy way.
Because I want you guys to, have you noticed that you are like suffering maybe more leg cramps, or you're getting more headaches? Are you feeling more foggy headed? Because what's going on, and I've noticed this a couple years ago especially, that the ponds around, for just no reason, we're getting plenty of rain, but they're like dehydrating and evaporating in, like when I drive by as the days go by. So it's weird. And then I'm feeling much more thirsty than I have been over the years.
And you've been having cramps.
And so,
leg cramps, ankle cramps.
That's just because we're workers. So hot. And we can't get any relief at night, so it was just terrible like that.
Oh, so man, we're going to tell you guys about that.
So I want to talk to you about some things that we can do. I want to talk about dehydration, because I think a lot of people underestimate the power of water. Water can literally change so many ailments that you are having. It's just an incredible thing. So I want to kind of go over dehydration and kind of get into some things, and then I'm going to give you some solutions that you can do with things that you have in your home. If you want to buy something, I can give you solutions for that too. But we're going to kind of go over, and I think if you think, oh, I know this, I'll probably give you maybe a little nuggets maybe that you don't know about. And I think it's very fascinating, because you'll notice so many people, and especially as older you get dehydrated much quicker, because we just don't think about drinking. And when you're already thirsty, you're already kind of dehydrated. So, when I wrote this down, I thought it was interesting. They said for women, your body is like 38 to 45 liters of water, okay? And then for men, it's 42 to 48 liters of water. So once that starts going down, you're going to start noticing an imbalance in your body, and you might have these subtle symptoms of different things happening. So most people are, slightly chronically dehydrated, I would say, probably all over the world. A good test is you can always, with your hand here, you can pinch it.
Everybody pinch.
Pinch, and if it snaps back. You're hydrated. No, not there. Here, and then pinch, and then let it go.
Ooh, look at it. It was kind of a slow. It snapped back, but it was.
You were snapping good yesterday.
A little slow.
He's been working.
I've been driving all day.
Yeah, but you were working the past day or two, and you haven't.
I work every day. What are we talking about?
Well, I'm just saying, in the sun, you didn't drink as much water.
See, that's the thing, you guys. You're out there doing your thing in the sun. You're working hard. Some of you guys are in construction, maybe lawn care, all this kind of business. You're in the sun all day, and then you're drinking that water, especially from the plastic bottles. Come on now. And you're drinking water thinking you're hydrating yourself, and you're not. Do you find yourself peeing a lot? Because if you are, that means the water is not even staying in your body. It's just going through so fast.
So it's just like the plants. Yes. Remember I said where you put too much water in it and it just flushes out? So there's a lot of people that have that issue where it's so hot, you're sweating, you just keep drinking, but it's just going right through you. I'm going to give you solutions about the structured water. I'm going to give you solutions.
We drink the salt water, sure. You can do that too, right? But I mean, when it gets 100 degrees out and it's super humid,
you need more.
Yeah. And especially if you guys are just learning about the saltwater stuff, right? You can get your salt from Redmond's. I'll leave a link for you guys.
Hold on, we're going to get...
Everything's going to be linked right here on this site right here. All stuff we're going to talk about is linked on this site right here, offgridwithdougandstacy.com /general-store. or offgridwithdougandstacy.com, hit the shop tab, and then you'll be able to go there too. But Redmond has the salt. It's unbleached, unbromide, unadulterated, fresh from the ground, and we'll be there in August, and we'll show you guys a tour of how they actually mine the salt. And if you're in the university, university.offgridwithdougandstacy.com, you probably have a ticket to go to the mine yourself. These are all just shameless plugs, and we do appreciate all your love and support.
So, you know, some subtle, weird symptoms that maybe you might think about, like if you have a dry, sticky mouth, you have muscle cramps, you get mild headaches. Did you know your brain is like half water? It's like fat and water. So it's like pulling away from your skull. And, you know, people talk about, you know, Alzheimer's and dementia, different cognitive things as you age. Through chronic dehydration over the years, your brain is just getting like sucked up. Just imagine, like, if you let something and you dehydrate it in the sun, what happens to it? That's what's happening to your brain. So that'll contribute to you thinking, you know, or you're forgetting things, foggy headed. So water is really important for that, as well as like you get sweet cravings or even salty cravings. Bad breath is another one that you may notice. How come I have bad breath some days and some days I don't? It could be because you're dehydrated. And of course, if you have that really dark urine, like that golden color, you're definitely dehydrated then. You know, generally they say, you know, your urine needs to be kind of light, kind of like a light lemonade. But generally, if you're, you know, it depends what you could just be drinking a lot or throughout, and it could be yellow, or if you're taking supplementation, so that a lot of the B vitamins will make your pee yellow. So just, we want to make sure that we are not like just flushing our body where we're peeing every, you know, 10 minutes. That's too much. You want the water to absorb itself.
And you're exactly right, Jen. The uptick from 3G to 4G to 5G, soon to be 6G. Trump even talks about a 7G, okay? Definitely is draining you of your body's ability to hydrate itself.
And then also when you look at children, now they're different. You can't always tell that if they're dehydrated. So if they kind of have sunken eyes, that can be a sign, as well as like their cheeks, if they're kind of sunken in because they're not, you know how kids are, you know, you touch them and they squish because they're all full of water. As we age, we lose that. So that's a sign that, you know, when a child is born, they have much more water.
Pardon me?
That they're made of compared to as we get older. So we're just chronically over the years getting more and more dehydrated because you're not keeping up with it. So even with children, when they cry, they don't really have as many tears. That could be a big one. And even if their diapers aren't that wet. So you may notice, oh, my child is dehydrated. So think about that with your kids as well. And just, you know, like I say, if we're not replenishing that water, you know, you're out in the sun, you're doing things like you're drinking the same amount of water, but you're outside, you're doing work in the garden, you know, maybe you went to the swimming pool, or who knows, you know, you're doing things, you need to replenish and you need to have more. So what I want to do today is kind of talk about what happens when you get dehydrated, because there might be a lot of these symptoms that I'm going to talk about that you are having and you're thinking, why do I have this? How come sometimes I'm achy and sometimes I'm not? Or how come I get a light headache? I don't know why. I'm eating really good. I'm not eating any sugar, blah, blah, blah. I don't know what's wrong. You know, little bitty things like that. How come my heart is fluttering? How come this? How come that? And it could be just from this chronic dehydration. So a really good thing for us is, like, if you have your water in a bottle that you know, and I had taken my holistic coaching from the Czech Institute, and Paul Czech used to always say that for him, if you look at how much you weigh, you want to have half your weight in ounces of water. So let's say, like, if you weighed 100 pounds, you need 50 ounces of water. So like if I look at this thing, oh gosh, how'd that happen? This is 30.
Boy, if you don't drink those electrolytes in that water, you are not going to have those fast reflexes.
Yeah, so this is 33 ounces. So like for so half your weight in ounces, from like if you're 100 pounds, it'd be 50 ounces of water. But for some people that might be too much. You know, you just that's kind of a guide. So if you have a jug of water and you carry it with you, that way you know. I know personally for me, I can't just, you know, just have water and just have a little cup, because I will never drink as much. It's nice to see kind of a jug like this to know, that at least, you're going to have a jug like this, or a couple. Okay, and if you're bigger, then you probably need a little bit more. And if you're sweating, you're going to probably need more. But everyone is different, and it depends on your circumstances. If you're an athlete, if you're working out, if you're out in the sun, some days you're going to need it more than others. And then realize also in the winter, if you're out working and it's freezing cold, you are going to need more, because in the cold weather, your body is working hard also, because it's got to keep itself warm. So people don't realize that. When I was teaching, there were so many people, especially the older people, that people don't drink a lot of water. I think the majority of people don't drink as much water in the winter months. And if you look at the incidences of people coming into the hospitals for dehydration in the winter, it's high too. So don't forget about winter either. All right. Okay. So when you're dehydrated, it's hard for your body to control.
There's nothing in that bottle, and no one's radiating.
No, I'm not radiating anything. My
Yeah.
water's over here.
Yeah.
It's empty. It's my stand. I left my phone stand at home. So it makes it hard for your body to control the temperature. You may even stop sweating, and you're not sweating as much because you're not working efficiently. And also the heart needs water. So just what is your blood? Your blood has water in it too. So if you do not have, and you're not drinking water, so think about this. You're drinking coffee all the time. You're drinking caffeinated drinks. If you're drinking soda, if you're drinking black tea, a lot of people drink sweet tea or iced tea all the time. Those are diuretics, and they're very, they're diuretics. So what happens is you're going to pee a whole bunch. Then you're going to get rid of more of your minerals and things like that. So it's going to dehydrate you. Okay? Then it's hot, so you're sweating, you're losing more, and you're losing more. And then what happens when you get dehydrated, your blood gets thicker, because you need that water in your blood, because your heart needs all that to regulate itself so that it's working properly. It needs electrolytes that it's getting from the minerals from the water and things like that. So if you get chronically dehydrated, you're drinking coffee all the time, you're not drinking enough water, you're sweating, your blood's getting thicker, the risk of stroke really increases big time. We can totally account for that, because we know someone who was chronically dehydrated and had a stroke. So
I passed out. I was talking to this guy. I'd just been on an airplane.
Not you though.
I was just listen. I was dehydrated. Went down to Florida, okay. And I don't know if you guys know this or not, but the planes, when you fly in a plane, it actually dehydrates you, right? Something I never knew before. And when I got home, I did lawn care, just when I was running the lawn care business back in the old days. And I was out front talking to one of the neighbors who was talking to me about his yard. And so I just got off the plane. I came home, and instead of going left, I was like, let me go talk to this guy. He's been wanting to talk to me. He lived right in the neighborhood there. And I got out, and I was talking to the guy. And then another neighbor came over, and we were all three standing there talking. The next thing I know, I woke up on the floor. I literally
Not
fell
on the floor, on the concrete.
on the concrete.
Driveway.
I literally fell straight back. Now the old guy, he was like, he might have been in his 70s. He couldn't really use his arms that good. Rotator cuff problems and all this stuff. They cut on you and mess you up, and so he was kind of messed up. The other guy, he said, I tried to get you, but you're a little too big, and now boom, I fell straight back like a tree. Boom. And I busted open the back of my head back here, and I was like, whoa. I barely vaguely remember even going in the old guy's house and getting like a towel and kind of wiping it off and everything. And then when I came out, I said, well, I'm just going to go home. And I went home and walked in, and I told Stacy what happened.
You were in he doesn't remember.
Whatever. And I said, I don't know. It's probably okay. I'm probably fine.
Just put a Band-Aid on it or something.
Y'all, I got stitches and staples. It's the only time I'll go to the doctors for stuff like that. Oh my gosh, so you can be dehydrated even just flying on a plane. Sorry.
So flying on the plane, just remember that you do need to hydrate, as well as if you're going and you're driving through the altitudes, like mountains and stuff. People don't realize how dehydrated you get because the air is thinner, you're going up in elevation, and that is crucial that you got to make sure that you are, and that what we'll talk about here, some of these solutions you can do if you're traveling or going to Colorado or going someplace where you're higher in elevation, because you will get extra dehydrated there too. So don't forget about that, because both those places are very important.
And as we were talking about structured water, your fruit has structured water. So like if you eat the watermelon with the seeds, don't get the seedless ones. That water's
Any fruit
structured.
is structured.
your oranges, your lemons, your blueberries, your blackberries. You know what I mean? Like
All
all that
fruit is
stuff
structured
is
already.
structured water.
So just remember, when you start to get dehydrated, your blood volume goes down. So then that can contribute to your headaches. That can contribute to the brain fog. It contributes to all that. But then also just remember the heart. Remember stroke. We're talking about Gary. Gary had a stroke because he drank a lot of coffee. He didn't drink a lot of water. And that was a great, shot in the arm, that I need to drink some water. Something very simple that could kind of help thin his blood a little bit because he was dehydrated. So don't forget about all that. Let's see what else I want to talk about. Okay, let's talk about symptoms, because this is kind of cool. You kind of go over some of these things and realize, man, that sounds like me, or how come that happens to me sometimes and sometimes it doesn't, and you just think, oh, that's just life. But you can control a lot of this. When you start noticing symptoms, you can start addressing it and being your own doctor. Because a lot of stuff, if you start having this and it just doesn't go away, the water might just be because you're chronically dehydrated, all right? But the doctor's like, I don't know what's wrong. You have every test in the world and it's costing you thousands and thousands of dollars and you don't know what's up. It could just be you're dehydrated. So forgetfulness, remember the brain is fat and water, basically.
Right.
Okay? That's what it is. And if it's not getting that water in it, it's going to be tough. So forgetfulness is a big one. You're mentally sluggish. Now, I thought this was kind of interesting. They were talking about the difference in men and women in dehydration. So they're talking for women, they get more headaches, and it's harder for them to concentrate. So those were kind of bigger symptoms. And I'll find, even sometimes it's like you're more forgetful. And I notice I have been in this heat, we've been sweating 24 hours a day. It was just terrible.
Y'all,
sweating.
The average man cannot do it.
And so I couldn't think why I went in the door, because I was so dehydrated. I mean, I squeezed myself, and I couldn't. It was just kind of tough.
It was like 100 degrees, the humidity, and that nighttime it was like 75. This is just like last week,
Oh
right?
no, it was
We were
kind of
sweating in the bed. I got my Milwaukee fans blasting like nobody's business.
Yeah, it was 10
my
o'clock at
word.
night. It was like 89
11,
degrees.
12, 1 o'clock.
Yeah.
It was brutal. This is August heat that we're having in June.
So women, like I say, they can't concentrate and they have more headaches. And men are much more tense. They're more anxious when they get dehydrated or fatigued. So if that's what's going on with you, maybe you're dehydrated, right? You have dry skin. A lot of times you have the alligator-looking skin. That's probably because your body's dehydrated. You don't want your skin to be like that. That's probably why, because you need to be hydrated. Your eyes could be dry. Your mouth could be dry. You have low energy. Now, here's a big one, too. Disorientation, imbalance, dizziness. So let's say you got down on the floor, or maybe you work out all the time, or you do yoga, or whatever, and you're rolling to get up, or you roll over on your side and you're like, whoa, that's a big one that you could be dehydrated. Totally. So, look at some of those symptoms like that. Of course, muscle cramps. If you start to get muscle cramps, definitely that you're dehydrated. You need some minerals too as well.
Yeah, most of it's minerals too, y'all. It's not just the water.
And here's another interesting one, and this is a big one. You're hungry. Let's say you just ate, and an hour and a half later, you're hungry, or you're like an hour. I'm hungry. And then you say you just ate, and then they say, well, my stomach's rumbling. Generally, it could be that you're dehydrated. So the great rule there, especially with kids, is to have them drink a nice glass of water, and then they won't be hungry anymore. And then if they keep drinking water and then they're hungry, then maybe they are hungry. But you're not supposed to be hungry an hour after you eat, or 2 hours after you eat. Okay. Here's another big one. It's amazing when you have joint pain. So look at your cartilage. Your cartilage is mostly water too. So it is going to help support everything, your joints. So then what happens is you start getting aches and pains. And if you start lubricating, it's sort of just like WD-40 Think of when you're drinking water, that's what's happening. You know, you're got a little squirt here, squirt there, all over, and it's lubricating everything so that it works efficiently. I can't tell you how many people are drinking sodas and teas constantly. I'm drinking water, I'm drinking water. Well, that's just a diuretic, and you're just peeing all that out, and you're not replenishing it with water. Water is water. I always say,
Water is water.
when you guys are, if you take a bath, are you going to take a bath in soda? Are you going to take a bath in lemonade? Or are you going to take a bath in
Hold on. Be
iced
careful
tea?
about asking that question these days.
Yeah, I know. You take a bath with water. So that's how your cells want to be cleaned inside too and filled up with water, not the other stuff. So remember, water is by itself. It's in a class by itself.
And we're going to let you guys know about some stuff, and we're going to show you how you can make your own stuff, so don't go away. We're just going over this, how important this stuff is and how it affects your body.
So here, I know a lot of people work out. I love to work out, and you know, you do your thing. If you're chronically dehydrated and you're not getting enough water, it can also decrease your muscle mass. So you guys that want to get all pumped up, it can that can really hinder you there too. So look at that. We talked about bad breath, and then here's another one. Lots of digestive issues can occur from being dehydrated. So you lowers your strength of the mucus in your stomach. If you don't have enough water, it contributes to constipation. So your colon is kind of like a pump. So if it doesn't have water in it, it can't push the poop out. So a lot of times if you wonder, man, why am I dehydrated? Or my poop is coming out and I have to strain, or just coming out in big rocks, then that means that you're going to be constipated, and it's generally because you're dehydrated. So medicines can contribute to that also. So just make sure that, you know, you're getting the water. I always say, you know, drink 20 minutes, 15 minutes before you eat. Get the water into the belly, down in the colon, and then that way it'll help with the elimination. Another thing, food cravings. So I know a lot of you guys might relate to this, but for food cravings, let's say some people go out drinking and they have a hangover. What does everybody want to eat after a hangover? They want to eat like McDonald's, like French fries and a hamburger, something greasy and salty and all that. Because your liver's like, it's been freaked out, and then all of a sudden your body, you know, needs, you know, you're craving these things to kind of help it when it's probably the worst thing you can do. But so when you're dehydrated, you might have these kind of cravings like that, when basically you're just needing something good that I'll show you what we can make that can help you. Okay. Let's see what else.
We're not into methylene blue.
Oh, and here's another great one. What about trying to lose weight? You know, if your body is in balance and you have, you know, water in there with the right mineralization, your body will function better. When you drink water, it helps to break down the stored fat. So basically, you just want to be working. I mean, think of your body just like a car. You want everything working right. Your filter and the engine and all the different things have to work together for it to work properly.
Facts. And urine therapy?
Yes. Then here, like for performance-wise, your reaction time is going to be slowed down if you are dehydrated too. So that makes a huge difference.
Another thing that dehydrates you, engine 1142, is smoking pot. And also, I was always trying to figure it out, like, when we were younger, you know, like they would talk about it being legalized or whatever, and we thought never in our lifetime would it ever be legalized. And then they basically legalized it kind of softly all over the country, right? Then I started doing some more research on it, and basically, just like everything else, right? Raw milk from the tit, the water supply, the food now you don't grow in your yard, you go to the store and buy. They've captured the weed, so they're putting chemicals in there like nobody's business, right? So that's not even, you're not even smoking like the weed you smoked when you were younger now. Now it's totally bastardized and under control of the government and their regulations, and they are dumping so many chemicals in there. So please, think about that.
So just by, you know, getting not chronically dehydrated anymore, or, you know, worse.
Yeah, grow your own.
When you are hydrated, your emotions will be more stable. It helps with anxiety. It's going to help with your nervous system. So here's a big one. If you have elderly grandmas, grandpas, aunts, uncles, your mom or your dad, or anything like that, they're the worst sometimes to get hydrated. So, because if you're dehydrated, it does cause you to worry more and to be more nervous. So that can be.
Do you have white tongue when you're dehydrated?
Yeah, you can get. Well, white tongue could also be candida, but a dry tongue is dehydrated. But white tongue is.
What's candida?
Yeast.
Man, many people suffer from candida, and you're feeding these worms inside of you with the sugar and all that stuff. Man, we've learned so much as we've lived off grid and peeled our scales off of our eyes, man. Holy smokes.
So, just one big thing, if you guys have that and there's candida and have, yeasty problems like funguses in your toes or, other areas, have thrush, that's a candida, and it thrives on sugar. So you can even go online, look up candida diet. Basically, you're just not going to feed it sugars, like you thinking of sugars like cookies and cakes and pastas, cereal, crackers, or things that break down into sugar, and don't feed it. And then try to do that and just be consistent with it, and you can fix yourself. You know what I mean? But also just think, when you are drinking water as well, it's going to help remove waste. It's through detoxification. So it helps with your heart. It's going to help with your minerals. Just remember, when you are drinking water that has the right stuff in it, your heart needs the proper ratio of potassium and sodium and all that. And if you don't have the right ratio, like before they told you just to have like salt, sodium by itself, like these salts are stripped of everything, but like the table salt, it just has sodium in it. Your heart doesn't know what to do because it needs potassium to regulate it. So when you're having all that, it's going to help the heart regulate properly as well. And remember, the detoxification pathways are like through your urination, when you are going through your digestive tract, through your breathing, through sweating. So all those things I just talked about, you need water in your system for them to work properly. So water is crucial for the detoxification.
That was the copper cup guy. We're running out of copper cups, y'all. Copper cups actually help you with your digestion. We have a few left, and we're just going to leave it open for you guys to get. If you do buy a copper cup, and we don't ship it to you pretty quick because we're really fast about shipping, except for that last batch. I've been really busy. You'll get it. He says, I just got a thing from him, and he says they should be here by the end of July.
That's so funny. Seriously?
Yeah.
That's good.
So if you want to get a copper cup, you can get on the list. You'll get one of the first ones. It's 100% copper. It will dent maybe a little bit if you bang it up against stuff. It does tarnish. We give you cleaning instructions, which does not include steel wool. Okay, but if you want to get a copper cup that helps you with your digestion and a lot of other things, you can go to this link I'm providing you right here, Copper Cups, and then you can read what a copper cup will do for you, and then you can buy one and just hang tight, and you'll get one of the first ones that come in. But we still have a little bit of a supply at the Missouri Tea Company for you.
So I want to talk about what electrolytes are. So basically, they're just essential minerals like salt and potassium, magnesium, and then you put also trace minerals, or selenium and manganese and copper and zinc. There's lots of other different trace minerals that we can put in there as well. But we're going to make our own electrolyte replacement that I want to show you, and then I'm going to give you lots of other options for kids, for adults, for picky people, for just anything that you can solve. Or if you don't want to make anything, I'm going to give you some incredible things you can do. And I wanted to kind of talk a little bit about Gatorade, where Gatorade came from.
Well,
just listen. It originated, if you guys know the story, in 1965. University of Florida Gators, the football team, it's so hot and humid, and they came up with this. And then I guess they ended up winning the Super Bowl after that. And then I think from there it pummeled, and that's how Gatorade got to be so popular. Now back then they did not use the stuff that they put in it now.
Of course not.
It's just not, when you're looking at the sugar and all the other ingredients that are toxic chemicals and they're not good for the body. And you can make this stuff, or what we talk about later, what we can just put in our water. It's just much more beneficial for your body. So what I want to do is show you a couple of things that you can do. And I'm going to give you maybe a kind of a recipe, but I'm not going to give you a recipe because everyone has different palates. Everyone likes to do different things. Everyone has different things. I'm going to give you some options that are going to be helpful that you can use, and then you can kind of add to it. You can make it in a bigger jar. You can make it in a littler jar. You know, it's your choice. So, first of all, I need to grab this real quick.
Just slip a little, paper towel or something like that over the copper cup if you think something's going to get in there while you're letting it soak overnight. It's best to let your water soak for a while in the copper cup and then drink it. So, like if you put it in there before you go to bed, wake up in the morning and then have your drink. There you go.
Okay, so we were talking about structuring your water. So, I have some good, clean water, and then I have a structure unit. Now, we talk about it a lot, TMHW, TiaMurphyHolisticWellness.net. You can go to her website, and then she does have the structure units. Yes. They have them for the whole house. You have it for your hose. You have it, here's a handheld unit. I love this thing. I take it wherever I go, and I use it. However, today, I don't have a lot of jars, so I can show you how to do it really quick. Hold on.
Wait, stand by for this live demonstration.
I'm just going to pour it in here. Okay, so
so you filtered your water.
I filtered it. So
it's all clean now, but now you got to get it back to its original state, like how it fell out of the sky without the chemtrails.
So basically, you're just gonna. I poured it. So it's simulating inside of there. You can't really see it, but it's like a little vortex. It kind of spins through it. So it's putting oxygen in it and all that kind of stuff. So that my cells are going to be like yum yum. They're going to suck it all up and they're going to absorb it better. I'm going to be more hydrated. Okay, but I need to add minerals to this.
And your dogs are just like you. If you guys are feeding your dogs kibble and getting them vaccinated, that's why they're sick and itchy and unhealthy.
Yeah, Molly drinks structured water too.
So our animals get the structured water. And the sheep, we run 100% off rainwater, so they get the structured water.
And we got a great testimony. One of the people that we know, she had been, you're going to say it?
No, but I'm just saying, this is just a person's testimony. We're not claiming any stuff here, but it does work. Go ahead.
So, we have someone that we know, and she had chronic headaches and also really bad arthritis, like really bad. And she's young, really bad. And she had switched.
Read the text.
Oh,
she'll just read you the text, y'all. We're full disclosure around here. Just know that about us, okay? Full disclosure. Full disclosure.
So she said, because she had said it, her arthritis had gotten better, but she says, "Oh yeah, my arthritis is gone and has been since then." So she had gotten it at the conference.
At the conference, the homesteadinglifeconference.com.
Yeah.
Stacy has a conference just for the ladies in October that you should be at. It includes your food and camping. You can get a ticket now. We're getting close to selling out. Just for the ladies. No eunuchs. Just for the ladies. And if you want to come and get this information firsthand, listen to speakers that are professionals in their field, then you should be at the Homesteading Life Conference Women's Retreat, conference. We don't like the word retreat. Women's Conference. And it'll do your body good. And you'll learn so much information.
Okay, hold on.
And it's in Dandelion, Missouri in October. What are you doing now?
I'm soaked some bulgur wheat.
We're never going to get to this.
I'm doing it now. I have to get a jar.
Thing here.
I'm doing it now. I'm going to do it. Hold on. Okay.
Water. Right down the sink with the rice it goes.
Okay. Sorry about that. All right. So you can use a jar. Half gallon's good, or a gallon jug. But half gallon or a couple quarts, this really works well. So what you can do is,
I would use copper 100%, and I'm going to use copper in the house for a build, no matter what.
So we've heard of haymaker's punch. So here is, raw apple cider vinegar. So you want to do like 3 tablespoons. 1, 2, 3. 3 tablespoons of raw honey. 1, 2, 3.
You guys see that? I don't know if they can see that because you got your phone by your water now. Come on, girl.
Okay.
Stay with us. Be the shining example.
Yes. So I got honey,
I got
apple
her
cider
fixed.
vinegar.
I got her fixed, Sheila.
Now, you have a choice. If you have some organic ground ginger, you can put some of that in there, like a teaspoon of ground ginger. I personally like the real, like ginger, fresh ginger.
If you can't use honey, you could use blackstrap molasses.
Well, I'm going to get to that too. I'm going to show you.
I'm just saying, like, I'm answering questions on the fly here.
Okay, so here, yeah. You can use on any of these things that we're talking about. Your options for your sweetener can be raw honey, blackstrap molasses. I adore because it is mineral rich, like you can't even imagine. It is the third boiling of the molasses. So that's why it's so dark and it's loaded in minerals. So what I was doing when it was so hot, because here's a little trick. If you've been drinking so much water, you feel waterlogged, I could just take a teaspoon of some of that, just put it in my mouth, leave it in my mouth and let it dissolve. And that way I wasn't drinking all this water. So that's another little thought too that you might want to try.
Man, we're 50. We're not even there yet.
We're almost there. And then maple syrup, organic maple syrup is another good option there. So like with your ginger, you could just get your ginger, and then just, I like to chop it up in little chunks because I'm going to tell you with this Haymaker's Punch, because I did call it Haymaker's Punch because they're out, and I'm telling you, they were doing the hay, all the Amish were out doing their hay, and everyone in the hot day of the year.
Type in drink from the 1800s off-grid dove.
And you can see that recipe might be a little bit different, but I'm just kind of giving you one. So here, I'm just going to cut it up in little bitty pieces and put them at the bottom. And then I'm going to cut up my lemons and squeeze them in there as well. Okay, so I'm going to put all that in there. And you can put, a nice ginger nub. If you don't like ginger, ginger kind of gives it a little fizz. And then you're going to put your lemons in there. And then you're going to add remember you can do ginger, you can do powder too. And then I'm going to squeeze my lemons. And then I'm going to put my water in there. And then I'm going to put it in the refrigerator. I like to leave it overnight because it gives it a much better flavor. What are you looking at?
The most beautiful girl in the world. Brownie points. How do you write the Re-Lyte from Redmond Salt? That's the whole video, but we're going to get there in a second. She's just
no, you guys are going to freak out.
She's going to try to show you to make your own. If some people can't afford it or whatever, but I'm telling you guys it'll be worth it. We're going to get there in a second. Just hang tight. I'll just tell you guys right now, Redmond, they are so with it.
Tell them what they're going to do.
They are so with it. Like all their ingredients, it says natural flavors. They literally dehydrate fruit and put it in there. There's no fake, funky nothing. Okay? They have the kids Re-Lyte, okay, which is all organic. That's the only difference between the adults and the kids stuff. The kids stuff is all organic, right? Our son is in the Marines, and he's getting ready to go over to Somalia. They're sending for his whole, team. He's in MARSOP. He's pretty awesome. I don't really agree with it. He doesn't either now that he knows what he knows, but he's doing what he does. And they're going to send over a bunch of Re-Lyte for him and the guys so they don't get cramped up and dehydrated. Okay, so Redmond is a salt of the earth, no pun intended, company, okay? And we love working with them, all right? And most of the people, all the people that you see that we work with at offgridwithdougandstacy.com in the shop tab are all salt of the earth people, okay? They're just here to try to help you out with the knowledge that they've learned, and we help share that information as well, okay? So if you want to get some Re-Lyte, we're going to talk about it in a minute, but it's Redmond Salt, and you just click this link and scroll down, and they have the salt.
Now hold on, I'm not done
and
yet.
Everything. Okay, so she made the drink.
Okay, but I'm going to also put a little bit of the Redmond Salt. Now,
Yes.
Redmond Salt, they come in the fine ground. They can do the coarse. And then I'm going to put a little bit of the salt in there as well.
I don't know what happened with the video going pixelated. I really don't know. But I will tell you that on the way here, it kept dropping the GPS like nobody's business.
Yeah.
And the phones are acting really weird. So you guys just be ready for anything.
Yeah, because we're driving like through, a town and and it kept dropping it. All right, so I'm going to put, some salt in there too. You don't necessarily have to on this one if you don't want to. You can put a little salt in there.
Yeah, it was a really good picture, and then it kind of went pixely. And just know we're off grid, man. We're just like using a phone here to broadcast this signal to over 1 million people. So
now, normally I'm going to put a little bit more in there. I'm going to taste it. It's just done. I'm gonna fill this up all the way.
that was a lot of salt.
I didn't put that much salt
Not
in
really.
there. Oh, no, there was hardly any salt in
That
there.
would be a lot of salt if you were using white bromated bleach salt.
No, that was like, I would probably put like, maybe a fourth of a teaspoon or so. I didn't put that much salt in there. But I would fill this up all the way with water, but I don't have it. Is that full? We don't have any water right now. Fill this up all the way. Okay? And then put it in the refrigerator, and then you'll have a nice little drink.
Yes.
And if you want to put more lemon in it, you can. You can add oranges, you can add limes, you can do whatever you want. All those things are going to have beneficial things to them.
And yes, we've made switchel before on our channel
And
as
this
well.
is yeah. And then
And Stacy made some drink the other day. She's like, we're drinking flowers and stuff.
Yeah, my herb soda.
Herb soda.
Here's the other thing you can do that I love. I like to do herb infusions. So you can get, like, here's purple, basil, parsley, dill. Basil makes a really good one. So my favorites, honestly, are basil and mint. And then I'll put a ton of fresh herbs at the bottom. And then you can just put some ice in it as well. And then you could go ahead and you can put your salt in there if you want to, get your real salt. You can put, like, and there you go. And then let it set overnight or for a couple hours, and then you'll have a beautiful herb infusion. And then if you want to add the little punch, you can add some blackstrap molasses to that. Or if you want to add, if you had some green stevia powder, you can make it real sweet. It would be incredible. Or you can add your maple syrup or your honey, any of those things. So that's another option you can do. Another one that I absolutely adore is you can puree your watermelon. And that's incredible. And you can add, if you want to add blackstrap molasses to that, you can add mint and watermelon goes good together. Put the salt in there. Remember, salt and watermelon go great. So adding the Redmond on there, mixing it up, you can make a drink. You can do so many different things. But I want to show you guys this is really saved us.
I know it's buffering. You don't have to tell us. Like I said, we're working off a cell phone here. That's all we got. So this is not the high-tech redacted channel or anything. This is just Doug and Stacy giving it to you real.
Okay, so here is...
Any special blended black trap? She's got some plantation.
I like this blend. I use it.
That's what we got right here. You guys do your own homework. She likes this brand right here. No big deal.
Oh, shoot. I bet I left the good one at home. I can't believe I did that.
All right, now we're moving on to the Re-Lyte.
Okay, so this is... Redmond has a product. They've done very well with it. It's called Re-Lyte. And they have these handy dandy little packets that you can just
single servings.
And you're going to put it with like 16 or 18 ounces of water. So like if I have a huge bottle like this, I'll put that in my water. And then they have all different flavors. Like this is a variety pack. This one is unflavored. I actually like the unflavored one. It just kind of tastes a little salty. But I know a lot of people like the variety pack because there's so many different flavors you can pick from. As well as they have little containers that have scoops, and then you can get the flavor that you want, where you can just scoop it and put it in your water. They all have
kind of comes like in a jar like the Redmond Clay. So you guys, if you got tick bites or anything, you guys want to have this Redmond Clay on hand around your house all the time.
I just got bit by a million mosquitoes in my face, on my arm.
I had to ask her before we started, are you going to wipe that stuff off your face?
All of it. But it just made the itch go away, and it made
the Redmond Clay,
go
you just make a paste and you put it on your tick bite. It pulls that venom and stuff out of your body. It's awesome stuff.
And then, as well as even if you don't want to do drinks, they have the capsules. So if you want to do the electrolyte replacement in the capsules, you can take the capsules. And then I have to tell you, and I can't even believe it, I left without it. They have a limited edition, and we were telling the university people last week. They have a limited edition pouch, and it's just a bag. Chocolate. It's a chocolate Re-Lyte. And I was like, chocolate? What's chocolate going to taste like? So I put a scoop in some water, and then I put the water in, and I drank it, and it was really good. And then, strawberry season, I thought, I'm going to put some of it in my strawberry smoothie. So I did it for Doug and I, and it was really good too. So you might want to check out the chocolate Re-Lyte because it was delicious. And for kids, if they like chocolate, they might really, really like the chocolate Re-Lyte. But here's something that I really, really kind of fell in love with. It's called Re-Lyte Kids. So this is pineapple, and then the grape, I think the grape is spot on. I mean, you guys will love it. It's like Welch's grape jelly. And here's pink lemonade. Like I say, these are, Doug was saying early, these are all 100% organic. But today I gave one boy, I had him try the pineapple one, and then he really liked it. And when I tasted it, if you guys are old enough to know, do you guys remember Tang? You know, that they would give to the astronauts? The powder.
Yeah. I can't believe you just said that.
That's what they said. That's what they said. So, but they have a pineapple and the grape, and these are incredible. And I love, and I know a lot of people like the kids one, Re-Lyte, and that's what they get for themselves. So both the Re-Lyte adults and for the kids are made with coconut water as well, because if you want another way of making your own electrolyte replacement, coconut water is loaded with lots of minerals, which is good. It has a lot of good electrolytes in it, so that's another option as well. I'm not the biggest fan personally of coconut, like coconut water, so I like this much better, and it does, and especially the chocolate one. If you guys haven't tried it, you might want to try that one. I was totally flabbergasted, and we've been doing it in our smoothies.
So the Soleil is good, like for all the time. Like we have
we do it in the morning.
Soleil in the morning, every morning, and a copper mug and everything. But the electrolytes from the Re-Lyte is really going to help charge you up, especially if you're sweating a lot in this heat.
Well, see, the one thing that the Re-Lyte has is when you have like your minerals, actually like your salt, these are going to be, you're going to get over 60 trace minerals in that. In the Re-Lyte, they're going to give you some of the bigger ones, like your sodium, your potassium, your calcium, your magnesium. You're going to get those as well. So I know a lot of people might even have, take theirs and have a little bit at night before they go to bed, to help if they're having cramps, or if you're out. People might have put it in their water, and then there you go. And then if you're sweating and you're exercising and you're working, you might need more. You might need, if you're these athletes that are playing football, or if you're out playing soccer, or you're out doing softball or something, and you're sweating and you're having tournaments and all that, these little packs are just really been very beneficial for a lot of people. Or if you're out, you're cutting wood, or you're farming, you're out in the garden all the time, and you're just out there for hours just sweating and sweating. Something like this is so convenient. You can just throw it in your backpack. You can go anywhere. You can go on an airplane, you know what I mean? You can carry these little packets. Or if you want a bigger container, they have these that are bigger. But you can go to offgridwithdougandstacy.com and go to the shop tab.
I just dropped it in the comments.
Yeah, and you can check at the Redmond there and look at all the Re-Lyte, but they have tons to pick from. But I'm just telling you, if you like chocolate, I thought, ew, gross. Is that going to be good?
The reason why Redmond's is better than... Well, first off, there's been some stuff coming out about the pink Himalayan salt. It's exposed to air and everything else, and how they mine it. It's kind of, you maybe want to look into that, right? But for us, too, that's halfway around the world. We're trying to teach you guys how to eat more local, closest to your house or places you can, right? The mine in Utah is where the salt and the Re-Lyte and, the Redmond Clay all come from. Okay, it was an ancient seabed that dried up way before they ever heard of plastics, and it's under the ground. Okay, and they go deep down under there. It's a very interesting story how the first guy found it. He was farming, and he went out to try to do something with his cows, and he had a staff and he stuck it in the ground and all this stuff, and there was a cavity there, so they opened it up, and it led into this great big salt mine. So that's one great reason right there, because it's not been exposed to any of these plastics and all this stuff flying around. Now, sure, they do ship in plastic, okay, or whatever this is, but it's not been in it. This is just sitting here. So if you just get it, you can put it in glass when you get it, or when you use it, it's not sucking it in. Don't let it get hot or anything. But that's the one major thing right there.
Yeah, so I love the company. They are just a great company to work with. They had good morals and values and all that. So you guys show them your support. And then, stock up on some of this stuff, because, who knows what's going to happen in the world. But things like this, what happens if your air conditioning goes out?
Oh my gosh, y'all will have a fit.
I mean, literally, you have to think about being prepared.
You will have a fit. I've been on record to say that if the air conditioner goes out, a lot of people will die. I did a video that air conditioning is making you weak. You can go type that in.
It.
Air conditioning is making you weak, and it's off good with Doug and Stacy. Just type that in. And it's true. And if they were to pull the plug on you guys right now, the phones, and I mean, most kids and everybody, they don't even know how to memorize a phone number anymore. But it would be a hot mess out there, right? So in the wintertime, I mean, yeah, some people would probably freeze, but you'll burn your furniture in the front yard to stay warm. But the heat, there's almost no escaping it, right? And trust us, 16 years of living off grid, some of these nights were off the chain. And you have to have the electrolytes. You have to be able to have the water that nourishes your body, because if not, you're just going to spin that into other illnesses.
So, like, you know, you may notice a big difference if you do the structured water with the Re-Lyte. It's like, wow, your body will really absorb a lot of that. So I think it's very, very important that we get this whole thing, because we are water, you know, and without it, we cannot function properly.
Sean, I'll drop the link again one more time for you, but I'll keep dropping it anyway. But there's the link right there. You just click that's the Homesteading Life Conference. I'm sorry, y'all. I got so much going on here. Let me try this again. offgridwithdougandstacy.com. Hit the shop tab. Here we go, Sean. Sean, I was playing. Here's the link. All right, just scroll down till you see the Redmonds, and then you can get any of their products, and this saves you money. Our link saves you money. Air conditioning helps eliminate mold growth, which is not a good thing for your health.
That's true, but you can also get the little moisture absorbers too.
We did a video on that too, on how we manage the humidity and moisture in our crawl space and stuff like that.
You have to be on it though.
Yeah.
I mean, one thing about living off grid, you have to really be on stuff and constantly keep doing it. I mean, convenience is very nice. Air conditioning is nice. I mean, we like air conditioning too, but it does help.
Not all the time though, because it can mess you up.
Yeah.
Can you use sorghum? Why not?
Sorghum is just not going to be. It'll be a little sweeter and it won't have as many minerals. But sorghum and molasses will work. Yeah, sure.
How long does the water stay structured once you structure it?
Well, the structured water, maybe I'm not exactly sure. Maybe a few days.
So you can have some on standby.
Yeah. Because if it sits for a long time, it will unstructure. Think about like stagnant water. But if you had a structure unit, you could restructure it.
Stacy, do you use hypochlorous spray? Yes, we do.
Oh, of course, I have it in the back room.
Yes, always have the hypochlorous spray. You can get that at TMH.
Yeah, Tia Murphy Holistic Wellness.
I'll leave a link for you guys too there. They make it. It's all the bomb.
It's like, you could use it for like your face. You could use it for any cuts, any scraps,
fungus,
animal, any kind of
athlete's
anything.
foot.
The best disinfectant. You can clean with it. You can clean your chicken coop. It's safe and natural. Yeah, it's called hypochlorous spray. It's really good.
Can the sun structure the water? Yes.
Yeah, you can do the structure.
Don't leave it out there too long, because Stacy told me the sun can structure the water, so I put it out there, and it was out there maybe 20-something, 30 minutes, and then I went to drink it, and it was hot.
Well, but I didn't say no. I put it.
It was my bad.
Blue, but it needs to go through a vortex. I was thinking about when it's coming down the mountain.
And you can shake it too, like that.
Yeah, you can.
So one of the things, like Dr. Cruz, who started doing the spinning?
Well, Tia.
No, I'm talking about their body spinning, and then all of a sudden they started seeing
the
all
Unchained
the health.
Earth.
Yeah.
Unchained Earth guy.
No, was it him?
Yeah.
So he actually got a spinner to spin his body.
He made one.
Yeah, and so that really helped with his health and stuff too. Yeah, the glasses are from Raw Optics, RA Optics. Okay, so you guys got that? We need to have good water, not tap water. Tap water from your city is not good for human consumption. It's actually harming you. Do not take a shower in that stuff. It's harming you. You want electrolytes when it's this hot outside, okay? Your body needs it.
All the time.
All the time, but especially when it's this hot outside. You need these electrolytes. So if you can't make your own, you can get the Re-Lyte, especially if you have kids, and you could give it to them instead of Gatorade and all this other foofy non-working stuff, right?
And the thing is like, I like to make stuff. I like to make stuff too, and I do, but convenience. If you're going somewhere, you want to throw it in your backpack. You don't know where you're going to be gone. You're going to be gone all day long. You know what I mean? Having this where you can get some water and you can put your little pack in there.
Spring water is very good. Artesian well is good. All your fruit has structured water in it, especially if you make sure you're getting organic stuff if you're not growing it for yourself. Okay, do the best you can. Try to find somebody locally, but this is really good too, right? All your fruit has structured water in it. So that's kind of the theme of tonight's video. You guys have to start taking care of yourself.
And once you start doing these things,
Because if you haven't
consistent,
noticed, yeah, you're going to notice the difference.
Yeah.
But Robert Kennedy Jr. is not going to save you. He's talking about you having on wearables. He wants everyone in America having a wearable on in the next 4 years. These people have lost their mind and they're all sold out. Okay? And all they want to do is take you out. Population control, easier to control a smaller population. All right? And they want to monitor every breath you take, which is definitely obvious when they tell you that they want everyone in America wearing wearables in the next 4 years. I almost fell on the floor when he said it. Y'all, these are all compromised people, and they're marching us into a place that you do not want to go. And you're going to have to put on the brakes and get more skin in the game and start taking care of you and your family for real. You know what I mean? For real. Not the Dr. Oz way, but for real.
Somebody asked, what's a wearable?
A wearable is like your Fitbit that monitors your health and your body movement and your heartbeat rate and how much moisture is in your skin. That's what they're going towards. That's why Trump wants 6 and 7G for the surveillance state. Haven't you guys noticed? The only thing he talks about has been the AI data centers, which is definitely not good for your health. And then all the minerals. That's the new China deal. He secured more minerals. These minerals are what they need to make your digital prison. Please snap out of it. The plan is full steam ahead every single day while you're being distracted with all the nonsense. And right after they bombed Iran and everybody was trying to give me the business and the big peace deal was supposedly done, then they moved right over and bombed Lebanon. Okay? So just know, like, the plan is marching forward every single day. And you're not going to like it when you finally catch on to it. It's going to be too late. So I'm trying to get you guys ahead of the curve right now so you can start learning all this stuff, taking care of your family, and maybe unplug and, kind of fade out if you need be and take care of yourself. Serious business, y'all. Will you guys adopt me? Yes, you can send your applications. We are adopting right now. What's the shelf life on the Re-Lyte? That's a good question.
Yeah. You say?
All right. Feel the difference daily hydration makes with Redmond Re-Lyte, powered by Redmond Real Salt and formulated by health pros. This optimal blend of sensational essential electrolytes without any added sugars helps you hydrate better so you feel better.
Aha, what's that thing?
All right.
I can't see it.
They must have a...
No, it's on the bottom. I can't read it, I think.
I don't know. Okay. It's probably like most stuff, they got to put something on here to have it on here. Probably a year, I would say. But hopefully you're going to use it faster than that. But I don't really see there's not really an expiration. Man, you guys got a good question on that one.
Yeah, you have salt and...
Do you see any? I don't see any expiration dates. I don't know why there would be one.
Well,
besides just their
salt
dumb
and all that's
rules.
not going to go bad.
Yeah, this stuff isn't going to go bad.
Then,
especially if you keep it right.
If you keep it in cool.
Yeah.
But
there is absolutely nothing on here to indicate that it's going to go bad or spoil.
It just sometimes you lose like maybe the potency of certain things if you have the fruit and stuff in there. But I have to check. I'll find out. Let you guys know next week.
All right, so we got the Tia Murphy Holistic Wellness for your hydration needs on the structure. We got the offgoodwithdougandstacy.com shop tab. If you want to get some Re-Lyte, it's our affiliate link.
And try the chocolate if you guys like chocolate, because I was totally surprised.
Salt does not go bad. Also, Silly Rabbit down there in Texas.
No, I know salt, but I'm talking about the other stuff.
Yeah, this guy is awesome. He's out there doing stuff all the time, fidgeting, making things, trying to do workarounds, listening, learning, and he's an old feller. And he's doing it, so I know you guys can do it too.
Yeah, and here's a little scooper, like the kids one. And if you guys like the grape, like grape jelly, you'll like the grape one. Anybody likes grape? Grape's good. And pineapple. I think I might pick pineapple, grape, like those
The
together.
big stinky bill is terrible, right? They actually tried to make Congress read it, and everybody got upset because they had to read it. I mean, we should be passing these things one bill at a time, not some big stinky 900 pages of garbage. And inside of there, it says that the states cannot regulate AI for like 10 years. They can stick their nose somewhere else. I mean, that tells you a lot, y'all. Look up Palantir. Look up Thiel. Okay, I'm doing all this homework. Okay, these are bad. This is bad, bad stuff. That guy's into transhumanism and crazy stuff. He talks crazy stuff. And Trump touted him as collecting all data on Americans, and then him and Elon had to have a fight to throw you off that trail. All this stuff is called political theater for a reason. Okay?
Yes, Katie, you can order Re-Lyte on our link.
Yes, here it is right here. Re-Lyte right here. Boom.
Oh, blessed man says.
Scroll down to the Redmond link and then hit it. And if you guys are in there and it asks for a coupon code, just type in off-grid.
Oh, Millie says they live in a 121-year-old home. They opted out for AC.
Yeah.
The older homes were made, they
were
had
high
doors.
ceilings, high
yeah,
doors,
they had the fans and
porches.
They were cool.
That's why they had wraparound porches in the South, right? Everybody would sit out on the front, sleep on the front. That's how all this stuff was popularized, because it was a necessity. Deal is unhinged crazy. For real, man, look it up. They put a 2-year, could go bad on the Re-Lyte, but they say it never should go bad. Well, they got to have something because of these stupid... Doug, the Re-Lyte has stevia and natural flavors. No, that is not MSG. Their natural flavors are actually dehydrated fruit.
Listen to this. Jay Frog says, I looked up on Re-Lyte. They say it really won't go bad, but they put a 2-year life after.
That's what I just said.
Oh, you did? Okay.
Thanks for watching the show.
Well... Yeah, because I had some little Re-Lyte packs that I found in my backpack from, you know what I mean, a few years ago.
Yeah, check out Whitney Webb. She's been telling you about it. I mean, I've been trying to tell you about it. There's so much to cover, though. I can't stay focused on, that one thing, because every day it's some kind of new stuff, right? Like the latest CDC stuff is off the chain. They literally are coming out now and just saying, yeah, we've been trying to kill everybody, and we know it, but, we're just going to keep putting it out there for all the suckers that want to take it. Literally, that's what they do. That's what they say. You're volunteering. Anytime you guys go and you take a jab like that, a flu jab or any of that, one man's opinion here, I'm not a doctor. I don't play one on YouTube. But all that stuff is to compromise your immune system, to add extra spike proteins into your body. If you guys go listen to that video that I did with Dr. Leo about the bees, he literally talks about how the bee bread from your local area, because what happens is if you go to another area or something, that spike protein from the air and the allergies gets in you, and then your body realizes that, so then it starts fighting it because it's not natural to your environment. Man, when he said that, I was like, I could stop the video right there and made a whole video on it about that spike protein. And that's what they're doing. They're injecting you with this wild and crazy stuff, and your body is not liking it. Y'all, they're still giving it to kids. There's still people flopping over left and right because of it. All the stats are very clear. Just 5 years ago, just think about that. People wouldn't let you walk within 6 feet of them. They had a thing over their face, and they were demanding that you get injected with a bioweapon. Just think about that for a minute. And now, no one talks about it. No one wants to talk about it, and they still offer that to your children. They're still demanding it for schools and whatnots. I mean, it's crazy. Can I get a thumbs up on that one? And a heart on the comment sections here? Oh my gosh, y'all.
No, blessed man says...
Thank you for those hearts. Thank you, thank you. Thank you very much.
Redmond salt and water changed his life. Or her life. No, it's blessed man or his life.
This is a scripted movie. Yeah.
Yeah, it
you
sure
ain't lying.
is.
Y'all, these people... They're bloodline families. That's why Kennedy's a bloodline family, right? Look into his first wife and how she died, y'all. That should raise red flags like nobody's business. But I'll just do the spoiler alert. She supposedly hung herself. You ever look up the stats on women hanging themselves? It's almost non-existent. You ever look on stats of women killing or hanging themselves if they have children? Shut the front door. These are compromised individuals, okay? And they are literally telling you the truth, but all the while marching forward with the plan. Wearables. That Casey, right, and her brother Callie that Tucker Carlson rolled out. I don't know if you guys know this or not, but Tucker Carlson's dad was in the CIA. He was in charge of propaganda. Go look this stuff up. Bill Barr, his dad. You got to go look at these parents of these people. Why does everybody come from CIA and MK Ultra? Man, you got to ask yourself this stuff. Why are we dealing with Kennedy? Man, there's 300 million people in this country. Why do we got to watch a 80s, pop culture icon, Donald Trump? Why do we got to be trailing on his tail when there's 300 million people in this world that could be president and not have any, extra affections for Zionists, right? I mean, this is crazy train. Just do your homework. Don't believe a word that I'm saying.
Yeah, Lisa says she's been using the Re-Lyte for a long time, and she also found some old cookbooks just like you recommended and use them constantly. Yeah, you guys literally go to the resale shop, flea markets, and you can find all these cool old books.
Look at Carmen says, I had to quit wearing my Garmin watch because it was causing the skin on my wrist to be very irritated. Some people even say it burns their wrist.
Yeah,
that's a wearable.
Yeah.
Okay, do not wear. Y'all, Kennedy, I got him on tape saying that the FCC is lying about how much radiation that your phone is putting off. Please don't hold your phone. You notice I'm not holding phones. Keep it away from your body when you're talking on it and stuff. But he says, I sued the FCC because they lied about how much EMFs, that's electromagnetic fields, non-native EMFs, okay, because nature puts off some EMFs. These are non-native EMFs. He said, I sued them, and then they were supposed to do more talking about it and reduce the levels. They never did nothing. And now he's out here saying within 4 years, everybody should be a phone on their wrist. I mean, you can't make this stuff up. But only if you're paying attention can you start connecting these dots. Man, it's crazy, y'all. And the Bilderberg group just met. Somebody dropped a thing about the Bilderberg group if you don't know about them. They're the ones who sit around with all these other little clubs, WEF, the World Economic Forum, and WHO. These are all in it together, right? And the Bilderberg group just had a meeting planning out your future. And why was Stacey Abrams there? Seriously. Of all people to be at the Bilderberg group, Stacey Abrams was there. The little nothing from Georgia, who, by the way, Biden slid $500 million to it. This is all public information. You can go look it up. The Biden administration slid $500 million to Stacey Abrams and this green fund, okay? And then she's at the Bilderberg group. Y'all, we are being set up on the daily.
Yeah, Phyllis says, I can feel vibrations when holding my phone sometimes. Oh no, you can feel you get shocks on your thumb. You can feel like if you have water sometimes.
Sometimes if you're using your phone, you'll feel it. Yeah, on your thumb and everything.
Yeah. You can get little stands.
Goth Vampire. Yeah, get a stand for sure. Goth Vampire, you can make one too. Goth Vampire, I had the horse and buggy. I thought that was pretty good, but the more I looked into it, a bicycle. If all this stuff goes to crapola, right? A bicycle is the best. You don't have to feed it. You don't have to water it. We live where it gets winter time. I don't have to worry about hay for it.
Just have patches for your tires.
Have some extra tubes and some patches and a pump. You know what I'm saying? And a chain maybe. And you're going to be golden. All the research I've done led me back to a bicycle. Now me and Stacy have bicycles. Y'all, we are getting it bombed up in here. If you made it through the first part, buckle up for the second.
Go get that little shungite thing that I have.
You get some shungite things?
Yeah, Miriam says get a piece of shungite and stick it on your phone.
That's okay.
Yeah, like I have shungite.
If you guys know Dr. Jack Cruz, he talks about this stuff. No, he doesn't, not into this.
This is the
Jack Crew's not into
Well,
it.
I like the Noble. This is the bigger, the Noble Shun guy. So we keep it. He had it. It needs to be by the.
Yeah.
Keep it by the computer.
So they say that this helps. They make clothes. Don't waste your money on the clothes. A lot of this stuff is just gimmicks. You know what I mean?
Sometimes, and I'm not quite sure, because T and I, we were talking. She was talking about it too. That a lot of times with some of the clothing that you get, like if it gets bunched up, that it can accumulate some of the stuff more so there in
Like
them.
polyesters and all these other kind of nasty
No, I'm
fabrics.
talking about the ones that are the EMF
Oh, right.
clothing.
I believe it.
Yeah.
Maybe.
The big thing too, after a lot of this stuff, is to ground yourself. You know, if you get off the plane, I get outside, take my shoes off, stand in the grass or somewhere. and ground
100%
yourself.
cotton. Make sure it's organic. You know, those are the best clothes. Y'all get away from these blend. If you are actually reading your Bible, it says not to have blended fabrics. 100% linen. I wear linen. It's a healing frequency. It's healing. It's a fact. 100% organic cotton. It's a fact. These are the best things to put on your body at night. Get yourself some good sheets. If you're sleeping in the bed, get yourself some good linen sheets. Right? From Quince is where we get ours. I don't have an affiliate link or anything for you. Quince.
They have really nice clothes
They're
too.
50% off right now. You could get
They
some.
are?
Yeah, for their sheets and
Oh,
stuff.
they have some really good. They have some beautiful.
They want us to be an
clothes.
affiliate, but I just never
Well,
did
you
it.
should, because man,
I just never.
Yeah.
I don't want to be an affiliate for everything in the world, y'all. We have our few little things on our website. If you look there, okay, and we're good with that. But we always try to share the information with you guys on things like these raw optics. You know how many affiliate links I could have gave out for raw optics? This filters the blue light. They literally look it up. Google and Apple have patents on the blue light. They learned from the mob that it controls your behavior, and they're flooding your face with it, with your phone and your computers. And it's messing up your circadian rhythm, which is your healing and sleeping cycle. When you go to bed at night, your body heals. And so if you're staying up way late and you're sleeping in late and all this is throwing off your rhythm of healing, and that's another reason why you suffer from dis-ease. These are all, y'all, this is all the truth. And it can only do one thing. What can it do?
set you free.
That's right, baby.
I got it right.
Oh. Man, y'all, and they got everybody on these meds. I was, because we're in this RV, so I pop this TV on every once in a while. I don't know how you guys do it. Like every commercial is Big Pharma.
That's why people don't listen. Not everyone listens to regular TV
If
anymore.
Kennedy Jr. wanted to do anything, man, the first thing they could do is whack the pharma commercials. We lived all those years without them. It wasn't until like the 80s somethings. Bush let it expire. But it wasn't until then you never saw a pharmaceutical commercial on television. And now they got people acting like it's just some kind of a candy that you can just ask your doctor for it. And then if you're ever actually listening to the side effects,
He's in there.
it's
correct.
clown world. It is literally clown world. Bulging eyes, skin irritations, colon cancers. They tell you all this stuff blatantly to your face, and all these people running out getting this crap. And if you want to stop smoking cigarettes, I saw your question earlier, then just quit.
Or
You can just quit.
Okay, or a great transition is to start getting organic tobacco and rolling your own.
Just quit.
It's the chemicals that are the problem.
Just quit. Just wake up one day. I've done this several times with things that have crutched on me, okay? And I just ask her.
Yeah.
She'll tell you. I just wake up and I say, I'm done. And you just walk away. And you'll get the cravings and stuff, but then you just say, no. No.
But if you can't, get
You
tobacco,
can.
roll your own.
If you think you can, you will. If you think you can't, you won't. Your mind is very powerful, even if it's fluorided up and clogged up with what is it in the pipes? Calcium, you know what I'm saying? Like your mind is very powerful. And the clearer you get away from the chemicals and stuff, man, you'll be like me, like this nonstop talking, high energy, 60 years old. Let's get some. I'm up at 5 in the morning. I do more by 9 o'clock or 8:30 than most people do all day. Even the Marines. Let's see some thumbs up. Let's see some
So,
hearts.
Bill, hemp clothing is great too. Yes, any of those natural fibers are excellent.
And hemp, we're the only industrialized nation in the whole world that doesn't use
Okay,
hemp,
I'm getting
y'all.
tired of you saying that every time. You
It's
say
the
it all the
truth.
time.
Why don't we use hemp? They used to use it for clothes. They used to use it for rope. They used to use it for paper. We didn't have to cut down any trees. It's a renewable resource. It fixes the ground and the air and everything. And that's another reason why they got rid of it. Don't you guys get it yet? Everything that is for your good, that the Most High put here for you, they have stolen, banned, and adulterated, okay? To where it's now bad for you. Please understand these truths. How about bamboo sheets?
No, I wouldn't do the bamboo sheets. You can do organic cotton. You can do linen.
You don't see pharma commercials in other countries. No kidding. They make all their money off of y'all. They don't need them in other countries. Straight up.
The reason on the bamboo sheets, a lot of them, I think the way they're made, they're very highly chemically processed and all that. Yeah, I would eat, cotton, organic cotton, linen. Those would be.
And do not be doing any vapes. You guys, you must be crazy if you're doing the vapes. Holy cow, you're just sucking on chemicals and then blowing out that smoke. I cannot believe the amount of kids and people that they've got these vapes on. This is some, y'all. If you please, don't just watch our channel for fun.
Desiree, the structured device is from tmhw.net.
I'll drop a link right here for you.
They're all, they're individually, they're handmade.
Yes, handmade. Structured units are here. And y'all, the Murphys, this Tia and them, they're like family to us. We're not going to send you there and it's some bogus stuff, right? Foo-foo. This stuff works. We are doing it, and we notice the difference. We haven't always been doing the structured water. Everything is a journey and a learning and a step, like you're making steps on the journey, and you start learning and you start changing.
And we're talking about June was like all about your health and all that. We're talking about, your water and electrolytes and all that are so important. I talked about this a little bit, and I'm like, I brought it with us here today, but, we're trying to be able to take care of ourselves and not have to worry about going into pharmacia and doing all these different things. Here, hold on, I'll show you real quick.
And Pamela loves the copper cups and the stitches. We have a blend of herbs, and it's called Herbal Stitches, okay? Literally, like I got banged up, my buggy flipped over. I got this big cut on the back of my head, and I just put the stitches on there and it healed it up. We have Stacy cuts her hand.
I use it all the
making
time.
Food, right? It literally, if you look and you think,
slice my hand
I might need stitches.
Yeah.
You take this, it's a dry pack, you put it on. You need to have this for your preps, in your truck, in your toolbox. Give it to your dad, your brother, your cousin. You pack it in, dry pack, and then you keep packing it in.
Because if they don't start bleeding again, you just got to keep packing until it stops.
And it just stays in there.
I sliced a bottle bottle, and I sliced my finger pretty bad there. It's taken a while to heal because I keep bending it.
And it
really looks good.
Literally heals your cut, right? That's why it's called Herbal Stitches. And it works. I've used it a bunch of times, and we got lots of testimonials.
So here's my other thing, because I'm just trying. We're talking about a lot of the stuff to get, but we need to be prepared for what's going to happen in this world, and we need to be able to take care of ourselves.
Just say I'm accident prone. That's because I do stuff. If you do stuff, you're going to run into a few things here and there. If you sit around in the AC,
I guess the thing, and
you're not going to hurt nothing.
You haven't had that many.
My whole life, yeah. Look how.
But you did flip the gator.
Yeah.
He's been kind of crazy lately.
It was a deer. A deer just like, I'm like following Stacy, and this deer, I just look up and it's right on the mirror. It's right
been
here.
17 years, we've never had any altercations with deer at all. Like, never. That was the first time for it touching you.
Yeah. So. Well, one time I was with Noah when I was picking him up in the Jeep. And me and him were talking and stuff, and all of a sudden I looked over, and there was a buck running right into the side of the Jeep. And then I barely turned the wheel a little bit, and he like tapped it because I was pulling away from him, and he tapped it, and he took off that way. So when I did that with the buggy, me and Noah talked about that time, because that was the only other time.
And then here is something that I truly, truly I mean, believe in, and I think it's just been amazing, and it has helped us so much, is the Jackson's cell salts or the tissue
man,
salts.
that's another. Go to our
Now,
off
it's
grid with
funny.
Doug and Stacy. Hit that shop tab.
Yeah,
and
go to
scroll
Dr.
down.
Cowan.
Dr. Cowan has these.
But
I'll tell you that stuff works.
no, you know how guys are. He loves these too because he can really see it happening. But like there's a whole bunch of them. You have your 12 salts, and they tell you exactly what you're going to do. You know, like the cal floor symptoms: varicose veins, hemorrhoids, constipation, toothache, deficient tooth enamel, bone spurs, ganglion cysts. See, a lot of these you can put together to help remineralize your teeth if you have people are having teeth problems. The Cal-Phos is good essential for proper growth and nutrition of the body, bone problems, fractures, growing pains, late dentation in children, calcium deficiencies, you know, on and on. There's Mag-Phos, muscle cramping, shooting, darting, spasmodic pains, nerves, neuralgia, sciatica, neuritis, menstrual and stomach pain, silica, effects of poor nutrition, hair loss, brittle, weak nails, cystic acne, boils, cysts, and pus formation, foul perspiration. Nat-Phos is good gastric disturbances and upsets, especially.
Have you guys
from fatty
read his
foods.
book called The Contagion Myth?
Yeah, by him and Sally
Dr.
Cowan.
Cowan is going to be speaking at the Homesteading Life Conference in 2026, y'all. Our featured speaker. He doesn't do much speaking events. Actually, none besides one other one.
He does a wise tradition.
That's right. And he's going to be at our conference, our little old Homesteading Life Conference, 2026. Please come and see him, and your mind will just go boom.
And I'll keep going on. You interrupted me, right?
I always interrupt
So
you.
the NAMUR, the constipation with headaches, slow digestion, bloating, poor sleep, tired in the morning, dryness, cold sores, cold, sneezing, on and on. I mean, it's got everything in this little thing. You have all these 12 cell salts, and then you can look online and you can learn about each one of them and what it does for you. I mean, you're going to be in a whole new world. Because the thing is when you start doing it kind of goes where you kind of need it, and it helps your cells, just like doing the structured water hydrates your cells. This is going to give your body the minerals, because basically we are minerals, and if we don't have the right minerals, people are suffering from these things you might have been suffering your whole life. And then when you start adding these in, they also have a 12-in-1. That's not in this pack. That would be a separate one. But the 12-in-1 is good. I know a lot of people even just take some a day, and they've noticed things have gotten better. And they'll put all of them together in one. So I love this thing. I carry it with me. It's like my little... I take it wherever I go, because you never know when you need it. And it's just amazing. So that could be in everyone's little toolkit too. The Jackson's tissue or the cell salts.
All right, Margie, you scroll down. I'm going to leave the link for you, offgridwithdougandstacy.com. All you got to do is scroll down and you'll see the stitches. Now listen. Your grandparents and their parents and their parents and their parents and their parents and their parents.
Well, those parents before, everyone did homeopathy.
Holy cow, will you let me get finished? They all did this stuff. Then the Rothschilds and the Rockefellers came along and stole that from you, and then basically put up schools to fake you out, and then said anybody practicing that stuff was quackery. Do you guys get that? And then they pigeonholed you, because you're born after the generation into going to this stuff, because those parents went along with it. The ones that believed in the moon landing, the ones that believe Oswald shot Kennedy, those are the ones who pigeonholed us into going to Pharma. And before them, right? Because this is all a plan. This is a plan to make you sick, so they have you from the cradle to the grave. When they tell you that stuff, they're not joking around. They literally want you sick from the cradle to the grave, and they want you to live a low quality life, and they want you to get out of here when you're, 60s, 70s, 50s, when you should be living to over 100 years old. Just let that sink in for a second. Just let that sink in for a second. Can I get a Oh my goodness.
We
don't have to do nothing. Tonight is 2-hour live show night. We are going to go all in. If you have questions, we have answers. Leave them in all caps. And now we're just going to bust loose, okay? Come on. There's 2,800 people in here. Let's see what you got. Let's do it. Palantir is bad. Very, very bad. And that's, y'all, that's Trump's buddies. Elon Musk, have you ever looked into Elon Musk's grandfather? He was into techno-tyranny. They literally say that you're too stupid, literally, to decide who should lead you and rule over you, right? Like, they should let the computers do it. This is how they think. They want chips. That Palantir guy, Theo, he says that, like, you know, we got the transies and stuff. Well, they just put on clothes, and we got the other ones, and they just cut off their body parts, you know. But this is the step beyond. This is where it's at, right? Is blending computers and chips with people so you can live forever. These people are wackadoodle, and they've captured all of our stuff, y'all. They have literally captured all of our stuff. So it's going to be up to you. If you keep volunteering for this stuff, you're not going to like it.
Living the Dream wants to know, what are you going to do when all your sales on the internet and make you use digital currency or have to take the mark to use the internet?
We won't have to use the internet. We have over 1,500 videos up here. I don't care. Literally, we don't care. Like, we do this for your good. And yeah, it's great and fun for now. But when the brass tacks hit the road, bye-bye. So just suck up all the Doug and Stacy information you can. I will not be selling out. I will not be compromising my beliefs for some money. For the love of money is the root of all kinds of evil. Where have you heard that before? It's okay to have money. You're supposed to. You know what I'm saying? But
yeah, don't think that you're not. Yeah.
Yes, but when you put it above humanity and above yourself and above your family and that kind of a stuff, it's game over. That's why you see all this evil. Look at these people, Nancy Pelosi and all these people. These are evil, satanic people. All right? I mean, they are. And they have sold out for the money. All your TV personalities, all these people that they put in front of you as authority, even Fauci, all these people, Bill Gates, all these people are satanic. You guys, I don't think you get it. I don't know if you get it.
I think lots of people get things.
They do, but they don't. You know what I'm saying? Like, you got to really get serious and drill down on this stuff and start making these decisions. You know what I'm saying? I don't know, man. Don't take your kids to Disney. That's satanic. That place is disgusting. Don't let them watch these movies. Right? All these movies have underlying satanic stuff to them. Man, your grandparents were right. That is the devil's box. And the AI is probably just as bad, right?
No, the crazy thing is I kept thought, oh, that's so stupid. Right. Even when I was older, and then now
you can see it for what it is.
You can find so much on the internet now.
Oh my gosh, y'all. We are just trying to share with you these truths. Don't be mad at me, please. Dang. Come on. People that don't go to Disney, I mean, and then they take their kids there, and then they got the Disney Channel. That Monsters, Inc., what do you think that's about? Go look it up. It's about androchrome and scaring babies and then harvesting their blood. They show you the whole fact. Yeah, this is crazy.
Yeah, look at that. Everyone thought, oh, that was such a cute movie, but if you think about it, that's what that's about.
Dang it. Oh my gosh, y'all. We are just here trying to spread the truth. We don't care about what Google says or what YouTube says. I'm on record for saying they're going to let us broadcast this whole thing going down now. They tried to shut us up during COVID, but I think right now, they're going to let everything come out into the open. You guys are going to see a lot of stuff just come out into the open. Okay, man, did they charge a fortune to the... Did they charge a fortune? Yeah, they charge a fortune, too, to go to those places.
To go where?
To, like, Disneyland. I mean, like, you try to buy a Slurpee or something, and it's like $50 and stuff, right? So everything
is just, like,
is there for draining your money. Right. Holy smokes.
Yeah, Julie says it only takes 3 generations to forget.
I think it's less than that.
2 now.
I'm watching.
Yeah.
It's less than that.
Everyone, where do you buy Dr. Cowan stuff? Tell everybody.
You go to Off Good with Doug and Stacy, hit the shop tab. Here's the link right here. Oh, I keep dropping this Homesteading Life Conference because I want you guys to come to Stacy's conference. She's going to be talking all that lady stuff. You could learn all this stuff yourself too. But here's the Dr. Cowan stuff. This is a link that saves you money. And he loves us, and he's going to be at our show. He loves that we're talking this truth out here. He's going to be at the Homesteading Life Conference. At a discount. Come on, y'all. I work hard to get you these discounts. All right. The black tea on how to never be single. The black tea on how to Stacy's conference is where? Vandalia, Missouri. Just go to Homesteading Life Conference. There's 2 boxes up. One's for the 2026 conference. One's for Stacy's. It has most of the details there. We're updating it here shortly with our talking points and all the other information's there. And everything's included in your ticket if you want to camp. Otherwise, you got to get your own hotel, which you can get down in Bowling Green, Missouri at the Super 8, which is an okay place. It's not too far. It's better than anything. Don't stay at the Vandalia Hotel. You've been warned. But stay at the Super 8 down there, or you can bring a camper, a car, a tent, a sleeping bag, whatever you want. You can sleep out under the stars for free. And all the food's provided. We have a meal a day for you guys. It's really good. And if you camp out there, you have 24 access to the bathroom, no showers. Oh, don't forget too, we'll be at Dr. Leo's on July 12th in just 13 days.
Yeah, Dr. Leo's in Kabul. Leo B Day.
Yep.
And you go to his warehouse and they'll have music.
We're gonna have live
stuff,
music,
maybe
food, all that stuff. We're gonna be hanging out. He said, he just texted me today, his daughter's making a big birthday cake that can feed 200 people. So we're looking for a big crowd there. You can come rub elbows with me and Stacy and Dr. Leo, ask him questions about the bees, natural beekeeping, why it's better. Get some of his stuff. He's going to have discounts and everything there.
But I guess you could go to Dr. Leo,
horizontalhive.com.
Horizontalhive.com. The address and everything.
Yeah, horizontalhive.com in Kabul, Missouri.
Horizontalhive.com. Kabul, Missouri. The CABOOL, is that right?
We didn't consider Nebraska to live or anything, but we will probably be popping through there. Like, we're trying to get around to some places. I'm going to do this big story on these Amish folks right now that they live like you've never seen an Amish folks live like this.
Really?
Yep.
Are you?
For real.
Okay.
Seriously.
Okay.
And so we're going to show you that, and we're going to give you guys some insight on some of that, which I find very interesting. And then we're trying to make it to these places, but in August we got to be in Utah, so we're gonna have a meetup in Utah, and then we're gonna try to slide through Idaho, see Washington, Portland, Oregon, or Oregon somewhere, and then on down the line, right? And we'll be out on the East Coast as we get further into fall, because we like to see the leaves out there and stuff. So we'll be in New Hampshire and Maine and all that stuff, and like September, October, I mean, we're trying to do it, but it's kind of hard sometimes.
Stuff happens.
Well, we got a whole homestead we're running. We're trying to enlist all these people to take care of our stuff when we're gone. I mean, you know what I'm saying? That's why you got to think twice about what you do on your homestead, because it has to be easy. Otherwise, you're going to be a slave to the place and you'll never be able to leave. So you have to have good systems in place. You maybe not want to be milking stuff if you can get milk right around the corner. And just think about these kind of things when you're setting up your place, right? All right. Stacy, I need help. Should I ferment my cucumbers or not a good idea? Too mushy.
The only way, for me personally, I like, you could do it, there's actually a couple ways. My favorite way is with the little pickling cucumbers. I do them whole, just like you have at Old Deli with salt. So I have just done a bunch of them. I did, I cut off, you're supposed to cut off the blossom end, but I generally cut off each end a little bit. I don't want to cut a whole lot off, just off enough to get the ends off. And then on the bottom, I'll go ahead and I put a ton of dill and peel some garlic cloves, and I put that at the bottom, and then I do some red pepper flakes in the bottom, and then I'll put them in there really good. I stack them all up in there, and I shove them in there so that I don't have to worry about putting any top or anything, like a pickle pipe or any weight on top. I put them in there and pack them so tight that I'll go ahead and make my brine. Remember, when you do pickles, like for a half gallon, you got to use like 5 tablespoons of salt, because there's a lot of liquid in a pickle. So it's going to absorb it all. So you need a lot more salt. So I put, then in my brine, I'll do 5 tablespoons or so. And then I fill it up with water, and then I put my lid on it. And then you can either burp it every day, or if you have a fermenting lid, you don't have to worry about it. And then I'll let it go for a couple weeks, and then I'll have my pickles, and then I'll put it in the refrigerator. The other way I'll do it is I'll make like a pickle sauerkraut. So I'll slice them thin, like the slicer kind, the bigger ones, and then I'll put that in and cut them up and put them in my cabbage, in my sauerkraut. So those are my 2 favorite ways. Otherwise, if I'm ferment them, I have to eat them immediately. Otherwise, they get too mushy.
No, Steadfast. Like if you get a cut and you put it all in there and you pack it in there and everything, you can. I was taking showers. The stuff got a little wet. It did not come off.
It just made like a. And it was like a
yeah.
Big
it comes
scab.
off when you're healed, basically. You know
When
what
it
I mean?
starts
You
to
just
heal.
leave it on there. It's kind of like a scab, and then you just leave it on there, and then it'll just vanish on you, and then you'll be like, dang, it's fixed. If it does come off or something, just repack it again. All y'all should have herbal stitches. Hydrogen water, is it good for bad? Jessica, you definitely are coming in late. We're here 109 minutes, and we're getting ready to wrap it up, but we're trying to answer all your questions. You like hydrogen water?
Yeah, it's fine. I think I like structured water a little better.
Please answer the question on how she just did. Kind of an iffy kind of answer.
Now I like the structured water because it's more natural.
More
because
natural.
You can structure water with well, of course, I like this because it's convenient. I can't constantly all the way, if you structure it in the sun, if you put crystals in there, I know Dr. Andrew Cowan was talking about putting like cedar chips in it also to help structure it because it's nature. The copper, you can stir it a few times one way, stir it the other way with the minerals in it when you're adding the salt in it. This is easy because, like if you're drinking lots of water, and you're filling up jugs, like he's got this 5-liter jug, and then I fill up my jugs and you're filling this up. I can't constantly be stirring and doing all that. So when you have this, especially like in your shower or whatever, you're taking a bath in it as well, or for your animals, I can't constantly be doing that. But if you're out somewhere and I have, a copper mug with me, or if I have a piece of shungite that I can put in there that can help structure it, then I'll do that. So that's why I like to have lots of different tools, because you can structure lots of different ways.
Sorry about that. The phone died. I'm down to 0%. So we'll see you guys on the next one. Go to offgridwithdouganstacy.com. Hit the shop tab for all the stuff we talked about here. Holy smokes, y'all. We blew up the phone. All right, see you.